The following program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.
Exploring new paths leading to new possibilities that challenge conventional thinking and lead to new and innovative solutions. Stay engaged and informed for creative insights that support a mature generation. Welcome to New Age Aging. Welcome to New Age Aging, where we explore the issues connected with an aging population and learn how to empower ourselves and our culture to rise above and even benefit from those changes. Today's episode takes a look at technology and how it is assisting boomers and beyond to help us weather our age-related changes. The solutions we will see today help us to perform our daily tasks and keep us functioning at independent levels for longer. Here today to help us look at this area is Stacy Driscoll. She is the founder of Lifelong Assistive Technology, a New Hampshire-based business that provides training and consultation in all areas of assistive technology. She is involved in the New Hampshire State Initiatives for Assistive Technology and is on track to receive her certifications as an assistive technology professional. I would like to welcome Stacy Driscoll to New Age Aging. Welcome, Stacy. One of the first questions I'd like to ask you, Stacy, first of all, welcome.
Thank you.
This phrase, assistive technology, help me understand what this is.
Assistive technology is anything that can be purchased or can be modified in order to help somebody with a disability, a challenge, in order to complete a task, whether that's in school, whether that's at home, recreation, at work. So all of those areas, in order for them to be able to function in a better way and to solve a problem that they may be having.
So if I'm understanding, if I'm having difficulty seeing, hearing, walking, speaking,
Yes.
assistive technology devices helps me maintain or improve those functions?
Yes, and so there are very high-tech solutions for those issues, as well as some very low assistive technology devices, even things that can be fabricated, made, things that can be purchased that can help with those challenges.
Now, in your business, your business specializes in training and consultation in these areas.
Yes.
What does it mean to train and consult in this area?
So what I do is someone who is having a challenge, whether it be a student in school, whether it be a person who's aging, and they can come to me and talk about what the issue that they're having is, and I can recommend for them, after looking at who they are, at what their challenge is, at their environment, and decide on a variety of solutions, because it also could depend on, there can be multiple solutions, but there may be something that someone likes better than another product. And so we work to determine what's the best for them, is going to help with the issue, but also is going to be something that they're going to use for an extended period of time. And then following up with training in order to help them to get used to, adapt to that device, get used to that technology, if it's computer software, working so that they can do that independently and they no longer need me.
Well, now, from the description, it sounds like this field can only grow with the demographics changing as it is. Is there another reason? I mean, technology is coming about, the population is suited. Is that what's driving it, or is there other factors here as well, primarily those two?
Well, I think it's primarily those two issues that are driving it. There's also so much, and how technology is moving and changing so quickly, that is really, and more is becoming universal, so that people without a disability are using the technology and are finding how useful it can be. But for someone who has other challenges, it can make it possible and it can make the difference for them. So I think where it's becoming more and more universally accepted, more people are using it, more people are embracing it, want to learn more about it, and are willing to give it a try.
You just hit something that's near and dear to my heart. I've long been since advocating the fact that any change we make to support our older generation is a change that can benefit all of society.
Yes.
We have many examples like this. Now, this whole field involves very high-tech devices and very low-tech devices.
Yes.
You know, I tend to gravitate and very interested in high-tech devices, of course. That's my bent. Could you speak about some of the low-tech devices that are included in this area?
Absolutely.
Examples, for example.
Just talking about things that are commercially available.
Mm-hmm.
So we're talking anything from grabbers. So something.
Grabbers, what do you mean by grabbers?
So something to help someone reach something on the floor, and that will, with a handle, and it will grasp. I actually use one. We have a washing machine, the new washing machines. We had a front loader. It actually, now we have the top loader, but they're much higher now. And so in order to reach those socks at the bottom, I can just use a reacher and pull those out instead of stretching.
I think that's illegal. You're not old enough to use this now.
Right.
So, but that's, again, the benefit of supporting our older generations and having that benefit trickle down to younger and younger settings.
So things like that, magnifying glasses for someone with a vision impairment. Hearing aids are an assistive technology, a little more higher tech.
This field is poised to get big.
Yes, yes. I think that there's a lot of money going into developing of apps, developing of technology for all of the fields, children, birth to death. And really, assistive technology really is that birth to death and helping people of all ages. So just more of the robotics and different devices that are still to be invented. And so there's a lot there.
I'm finding that the demographics, the fact that so many of us, the population is aging, is supporting the amount of dollars that are being put into here. And I know with demographics in place, as is poised to be over the next 20 to 30 years, businessmen, entrepreneurs feel justified in committing these kinds of resources for the developments of these new fandangled projects. So whereas before, the numbers just couldn't support the large investments that may have been needed in this area, with the numbers, the demographic numbers appearing as they are today, a lot of people are able to justify a lot of expense here. I didn't realize until you had me do some research how extensive this is on the mobile platforms. Can you speak to us about
Absolutely. Both on the Apple side and the Android, all of these, and Windows, all of these devices have accessibility features, as well as your computers have all of these accessibility features. So you can have text read aloud. You can have the programs read aloud to you. So for somebody who has some vision impairments, there's also the speech to text. So it's someone who has difficulty typing or even fatigue. So, maybe fine typing earlier in the day, and as the day goes on, may need to be using the speech to text. And it's in all of our phones, it's in the computers, all of those have this capability. And also just for the size of text. So people who are aging may have vision impairment, need that little boost. It's a very simple adaptation to their device.
These are some of the accessibility features that come with just about every platform.
Yes.
But a lot of us go beyond that because our vision is worse, our hearing is worse, our typing is a bit struggled. And there are specific apps for those of us who go beyond the normal accessibilities of features that are found in. Can you speak to those?
Yes, absolutely. So we have different apps for vision, and so it would magnify for somebody who is having difficulty to see. I always think as far as a menu, you go out to eat, someone has difficulty reading that menu, they can use their phone, put your phone on top of that menu, you open the app, and then you can just slide to magnify. You can even pinch and it will magnify so that you can see the text that's there on that menu. you can also have it read aloud to you. So you can take a picture of that menu or the section that you're wanting to have read aloud, and it will read that aloud to you as well. So for somebody who wants to be independent and order without someone having to read the menu for them, they can do that independently using what they're carrying already
Okay, now,
with them.
well, let's go to, now I have problems hearing. What's available for me?
Absolutely. There are all sorts of apps within just the accessibility. You can get captioning, so if they're watching a video, it can be captioned. You can also put it to mono as opposed to stereo, so that it's just going through the one speaker and having, instead of going back and forth, so they're not missing anything. There are also apps that will amplify for the user so that they can be listening. You get the situation all the time. Someone, their spouse, one is losing their hearing, doesn't really want to get hearing aids yet, have to put that TV up really loud. And so using these apps, they can be listening to the TV, to the conversation that's going on in the room, and it amplifies for them. They can adjust the frequency as well as the volume.
Do you realize that takes away my excuse of not hearing my wife?
It does take that excuse away.
This could be problems.
It could be.
So, now, continuing on, you know, I'm aging further, and I find that my short-term memory is compromised.
Yep. Within just the settings of, in the general apps that come with any device, within the calendar, you can set reminders and have notifications so that you have your calendar and what you're doing, but you can also set it to remind you at a certain time. You can have those repeated. You can have it so that it's going to appear on your phone and you have to actually touch to tell it that you saw that notification. So sometimes you can have it that it just flashes and then it goes away. Well, if you're having memory issues or if you're multitasking, that little quick blip that it shows you may not get you to actually take action, but you can set it so that you have to actually respond to that to hopefully get it so that you would then respond to the reminder. So that can be within the calendar. There are also a lot of apps available to make your lists, to sort through what needs to be done.
Let's talk about your first demonstration. Better Vision, did I get that?
Better Vision is,
Tell me about this
is an
before,
app, and it is available both as an iOS and as an Android app. And so what it does is you can use that to magnify whatever it is that you need to be reading, the newspaper, so you can just put your phone or your tablet over top of that, and then you can just, there's a slider using your fingers, and that will magnify the text for you. It can also change the color. So it can be in color. You can also make it black and white, but you could do black on white, white on black. Blue and yellow is a contrast that is really helpful for those with vision issues. So you can change to whatever the color that's best for your vision. And so you can even try those out very easily.
Well, now you got me intrigued. Let's move to a demonstration. So now we're in a restaurant and we're having difficulty reading a menu. And we happen to have our iPad with us.
Yes.
Show us what we can do, Stacy.
Okay, this is called the Better Vision app, and this works on both Android and Apple, and so you can use it on your iPad or your iPhone. And so you can see, you have that you're holding the menu there, and I can see it on the screen. I very easily can go in and out. I also can, so let's kind of get to pizzeria here. If I wanted, so if that's a better color choice for someone, they can change that. It will also speak it for you. So if I want to take a picture of this, I can take a picture. I have to say, okay, it's going to take it a minute, and then I can say speak it, and it will speak it aloud. And I might not have the volume on. No, I did.
Okay.
So it will speak it for you, or you can email it to someone as well.
We have another demo for, this is for an app called Any.do.
Any.do,
Can you explain what this is?
Any.do can give you a list. It actually will show up on your phone. You can set it for a time. So I have it set in the morning for, it tells me to plan my day. And so I know what needs to be done. I can set for today, tomorrow, next week, and then someday. And I can easily, once I've inputted what I need to do, I can check them off as well as move them. I didn't get them done today, I can move it to tomorrow, and it will stay on that list, so it will come up tomorrow morning, it will come up as today. It also, the input can be done as speech to text, so I don't need to actually type in what I want. I can just hit the microphone and I can say what it is, the task that I want to complete, and that will put it in there. I can set as reminders and put it in different folders as well. What I really like is the speech to text and being able to just say it and it goes into today, and then just simply using your finger, you can move it to a different date. If you need it to be somewhere else, you can just swipe to delete it, and then it's gone.
That does sound simple.
So it is fairly simple. There's a lot more you can do with it, but just for your use of your reminders and getting that inputted in there, it's pretty simple.
Well, let's take a look at this demo.
Okay.
I'm again curious about it. So now we're going to see the Any.do app. Could you tell us what it is? You mentioned this earlier. You're going to demo it now.
Yes. This is a good app for reminders, and it has just very simple interface of just being able to use your voice to type it in. You can also actually type it in, and then you can move it around to when it is. So let's just call it Any.do. It also can be used on multiple devices, both the Apple and Android platforms, as well as on a computer. And so you can put it in and you can sync it because you have an account, and so it'll sync between all of your devices that you're signed into, which is a really great feature.
If I put a reminder here,
yes,
and go to my computer at home, I will find that same reminder on my computer at home too.
Yes.
Cool.
So you can just very easily, you can just move up and down into whichever category you want, and if you have a particular order that you're looking for. And so I want today, so I'm going to say, meet with Lee. It will listen. It spelled it incorrectly, so we'll just fix that. And then I can say done, and that added it to today. So this was a very simple way to just, by voice, add in what I needed to do. I can change that. If I don't want to do that today and I need to do it tomorrow, I can just move that to tomorrow. I can also tap on it, and I can add reminders or checklists. I can share it with other people, add more information if I need to. But I can keep it just very simple as a today, tomorrow, what needs to be done, and having those reminders. So it can really be more advanced, but you can keep it as simple as you want, and it will work on that very simple level as well. And when I was doing the voice recognition, you do need a Wi-Fi or a 3G connection in order to be doing the voice recognition on any device.
That's true with any phone.
With any device. So, okay.
So, all right. Thank you for that demonstration. So these apps are starting to get very interesting, I see, from these demos. You have another demo for us.
Yes.
On the iPad this time.
Yes.
Called Ear Machine. Did I get that right?
Ear Machine, yes.
Tell us about this one.
So this you would use with headphones. When we do the demonstration, I'm actually going to be using an external speaker so that everyone can hear what would be happening. But you use it with headphones, and so you can hear what's happening in the room by using this app. You can use it behind if you're checking your mail, if you are on the internet, it can be running in the background, and so you can hear the conversation behind you. You can even have it going both ears at the same time, and you can adjust the left and the right ear separately. So you can have a different volume if your hearing is different in each ear, which for most people that is the case. And so you can adjust the volume and you can adjust the frequency. So you can fine tune that as well so that you get it optimal for your hearing.
It sounds sort of sophisticated.
And it's very simple.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, well, I look forward to the demonstration.
Yes.
So, Stacy, we have here the Ear Machine application.
The Ear Machine, yes.
And what are we doing here with this Ear Machine application?
Okay, so Ear Machine is generally used with headphones, but for demonstration purposes, we're using an external speaker.
These are headphones, not what it looks like.
Right, so the viewer can see what it would be doing, but it would be used with headphones. So what comes up when you open the app, let me actually go all the way out. So this is what it looks like. It's black, has an ear, and you can open that. And so you can adjust the loudness and the fine tuning. So right now I have it on both ears. I can adjust how loud it is. And so I'm trying not to get feedback, but that's going to come out through that speaker. I also can adjust the fine tuning. And because they're wide, I don't even need to be in an exact spot in order to adjust them. So it's really nice with the touch screen and having that just really give so that someone doesn't have to be in an exact spot. And then they can adjust it to their hearing and their fine tuning of the frequency of their hearing. So someone's hearing, whatever their frequency is, if they're missing really high, really low sounds, then they would be able to adjust that frequency so that it comes in for their particular hearing. And most people, we have different hearing in both ears. I'm on the left ear. You can see at the bottom it's on the L. So I'm adjusting the left ear. I can change it to the right ear. Okay. So now we're on the right ear, and I can change the volume of the right ear as well as the fine tuning.
Now, let me ask a question. If I would just take the iPad and without this application, just plug in a headphone, what would I get without this application?
So you'll get a volume that you can set, but this is going to make it even louder than what that volume is.
So it amplifies it further.
Yes, and you're able to adjust that frequency for your personal hearing.
Okay.
And both separate ears.
Now, does someone have to get a hearing test in order to use this properly, or
No.
can it be self-adjusted?
It can be self-adjusted. So
Okay.
you'd want to start with the volume low and then adjust it accordingly to just the people in the room or the television, and go from that.
This seems like another useful thing that I should bear in mind as I come of age myself. So, again, thank you, Stacy. Thank you so much. What do you anticipate in just the mobile platforms for the next year?
Well, there's currently a watch out called the Pebble Watch, and that watch works with both Apple and Android. And so you can receive text messages, you can set reminders, and it gives you the taptic feedback. So it's going to actually vibrate on your wrist.
So I wear a watch.
Yes.
And this watch connects to my smartphone, Bluetooth, wireless, I'm not sure. And whatever happens on my smartphone can be seen on my watch?
Yes. So the Pebbles watch, it's your basic, when you have a phone call coming in, you still would need to answer it on your phone, but it will show up that you have a phone call, it will vibrate, it will show who is calling you, and then you can get your cell phone or you can ignore it and you can take that call. It will show you your texts directly on your watch, as well as it gives you the time, as well as having notifications of reminders and things. There are apps that you can add to the watch to do other things.
I'm curious, Stacy. This sounds like such a neat feature that it would be embraced by a lot of geeks.
Yes.
What disability does it address?
Well, first of all, hearing, because you don't have to hear the cell phone ring, or you don't have to have the text. And yes, you can put it on vibration, but you can still miss that very easily as well. And when it's on your wrist, just having that vibration on your wrist is much more of an alarm for people. So having that capability for someone who has hearing, someone who needs reminders, and having that taptic reminder is also, so memory and hearing are two of the most with that. Also, it will play music. So as long as you have the volume turned on your phone, you can turn the music on, and the music comes from your phone. So you're then able to find the phone by where the music is playing.
Excellent. Mobile apps isn't the only place where such a large amount of development is taking place.
Yes.
This is, of course, I can understand why most of the development that we're seeing takes place on mobile apps, but there's exciting stuff happening everywhere else as well. So can you speak about what's happening off of mobile apps?
As far as medication, as well as mobile apps that would help to keep track of all of those. And we have the medication containers that you can put by the day, and then you can put them separate times. But there's also reminder containers. So there's this Talking RX, and so it's it's not really new, but not a lot of people know about it. And you can bring it to the pharmacy, and the pharmacist will actually program it for you, and it tells you what the medication is, when you need to take it, how often you take it, how much of it you need to take, and the medicine bottle goes right into this little round bottom, and then you push the button, and it will tell you what the medication is and remind you when you need to take that. Will it scold me when I don't take it? It will not scold you. There are others, though, that, not that they scold you, but that are the top, so that when you're taking the cover of your medication bottle on and off, it will tell you the time that it was last opened. So then you would be able to know whether you took the last dose or didn't. So
Now
that's another.
That sounds very useful.
Yes, so that's another device.
And then I'm always losing things and
Yep.
misplacing things. It's not as if I was young, you know.
There's also tiles, and tiles are, you attach them to something that you might lose. So your keys. So you put a tile on your keys, and then when you can't find your keys, you can go to your phone, you can go on your tiles, and you can either have the device make a noise. So you know they're in the house, but where are they? And so you can follow the sound. Or if you really think they're lost, it will, within 100 feet, it will locate it. But it also uses other people who have the Tiles app. It will not show up on their device, but it will use their device to locate your item. So it's taking information from all around, and then you can see where it is that your item is. Someone elderly, just putting it in their pocket, and you're out in a public place, just as that extra piece of security.
Excellent.
To know that.
Excellent. I won't lose my grandfather.
That.
The whole field of assistive technology is much more than I knew. It's growing.
Yes, it's a very exciting field, and there's just so much new technology, and there's so much available. Both, we talked a little bit about the low tech and the high tech of what's coming out, that if someone is having a challenge, there's probably some solution out there.
So I want to thank you, Stacy, for being on the show. We've enjoyed the information you've given us. I will be exploring, and I'm sure my viewers will as well. Until next time, keep exploring, keep challenging the status quo, keep expanding your world, and keep getting better.
The preceding program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.